Welcome back to Fast Market here on the Schwab Network. It's time for cash tags. For that, let's bring in our next guest. That's going to be Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio. Welcome back to the show, Landon.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
All right. So Shopify had a pretty good run over the last 12 months, but it got hurt, at the start of this year, kind of hitting 52-week lows, but it's made a nice little recovery. What kind of data do you guys have here on the fintech stock?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you're talking about a stock that's basically doubled since its August lows, but it's also off 30% from its recent highs. So, it's kind of in the middle, and now we got to pick the direction. I will tell you that LikeFolio has been bullish on Shopify for quite some time, and this quarter is actually no exception. We're going into this one ready to hit the buy button going into this earnings report, place a trade on the upside, and I'll tell you why. So, looking at how they've performed, I mean, they're basically doing everything right. They've got, their projected revenue is plus 25% on a year-over-year basis. A slight slowdown from Q4, but still very strong. They've absolutely dominated the small business market. I mean, that's where their bread and butter is, bringing in these small merchants, making it easy for them to sell online and to sell well online. I mean, they use AI to make sure that customers can find the products and make them. They're also using it to make their team more efficient. What they're doing, you can see in the stats here. I mean, compare Shopify to a lot of the big competitors or in the same space. I don't know if I'd call them competitors, but they're in the same kind of space. And, they're clearly the standout here, plus 33%, while the rest of them are negative. So they've done a great job of again, focusing on those small merchants. And now they're kind of shifting their focus to get into the larger customers. Also, you can see monthly active users very steady. In fact, if you look at the volume that comes from the app, it's up 84% on a year-over-year basis. So doing really well. And now they're starting to get into the more, the B2B, the enterprise clients. B2B sales are up 132% on a year-over-year basis. But now they're focusing on those enterprise deals that are going to be, a lot larger in volume, obviously smaller in numbers. We'll see how that transition goes. But their bread and butters with the small merchants. I think the big question is what's the impact on tariffs going to be? I mean, what company isn't impacted by that? But I think with Shopify, it's going to be fairly significant because a lot of their merchants pull their goods from other countries. They import them, and so it's really important to see where that comes in. Now, there's been some questions about the minimus exemption. If you're bringing in, I think it's $800 or less from China, then there's no tariff. That's obviously going to be big for Shopify and its clients. So hopefully for the investors, that does come into effect. But I think it's going to be really important on the call to hear what do they say about tariffs? How are they affecting them so far? And what do they see moving forward? I will tell you, though, that this company has executed extremely well. We're very bullish on them. And we believe that this pullback is a good buying opportunity, even though, again, they're up, they're 2x since August, but they're down 30%. So I've decided to see that as a buying opportunity.
Yeah, Landon, when you look at this, it's the ease of use, right? Because if you buy something, you have a Shopify account, it immediately just fills everything in for you immediately. But when you look at the competitive landscape within here, it seems like Shopify is outperforming Amazon, some of these other names within the space. How are they doing that? Is it just adoption that people just can't get off that platform when you're going to purchase something again and it just pops up and it fills in everything? Or is it that they're actually expanding their footprint more and they have more of a base to go off of than maybe some of the bigger players in this space?
I think it's both. So they're unique. I mean, if you compare them to Amazon, you can pretty much get anything normal at Amazon. Like most products, you can go to Amazon and get it. Obviously, when you log into Amazon, they know where you live, they know how to ship it, they know your payment method. It's very simple checkout. Shopify is competing by going around that, right? Instead of creating this giant website where you can get anything, they're saying, you know what? There are millions of websites out there that sell all kinds of products, and they're competing against Amazon. Let's help them. Let's integrate a really seamless, fast, simple checkout process, Shop Pay, and that way that that profile that you have with Shopify follows you from merchant A to merchant B to merchant C. Even though those merchants have no relationship with each other, Shopify is the hub there. And so for people that shop on, I'll say random websites, non-Amazon websites, it makes the checkout experience like Amazon. So now, instead of saying, as a consumer, instead of saying, I need to go to Amazon because I'll know I'll get it in a day or two, and it's a quick checkout and it's simple. Now they can say, I'll go wherever I want to get the product that I want. And maybe some of the products on other websites are actually better or better priced than Amazon. And it's still a very easy experience. So now merchants are competing with Amazon on a quality and price basis. And they're level playing field when it comes to accessibility and ease of use and convenience. So Amazon has kind of lost that edge because of what Shopify's done. And I think that's why they're winning.
Yeah, and you know what, Landon, I think the big thing and the big unknown out there is the impact of tariffs. Now, a lot of the results from this quarter aren't going to have anything to do with tariffs. So is this going to be more of a guidance looking forward type of quarter for this company where they could just come out and say, hey, we're pulling fiscal year 25 guidance moving forward just because we don't know the impact? And, you mentioned that de minimis, that's going away. I mean, thank goodness it's going away, but was that a big component within maybe some of the results previously?
Yeah, so this is where I'm a little bit bummed, right? I mean, with LikeFolio data, we have a huge edge on the quarter that's being reported because we saw the website visits, we saw the app usage. We're pretty sure that they had a great quarter. However, I think that when it comes to the investors' reaction to this earnings report, yes, they're very interested to see how well they've done this quarter, but more than anything, they want to hear the CEO talk about how they expect tariffs to impact the future of the growth. That's it. And so, if they slightly beat this quarter, but he says tariffs are going to kill us, then the quarter beat doesn't matter at all. So, our data is going off of what we know or our data says is a great quarter. But really, it's going to come down to that unknown as to how this is impacting their customers, the merchants, and of course, the customers that shop at the merchants, the second level customers. So that's really, really important. All we can do going into it is look at our data and know whether or not they had or hint at whether or not they had a great quarter. We believe they have had a great quarter, but yeah, it's tricky. I mean, at least you've got that tariffs kind of hanging out there. That conversation has to happen. It's all about the guidance, but at least we have going into it that we're pretty sure that they had a great quarter. It's better than if they had a bad quarter and have to spin it with tariff talk. So at least we got that small edge going into it. But yeah, it's really going to come down to what they say as far as the impact of all of this going forward on their merchants.
Yeah. What's your earnings score? You guys are pretty bullish on this one, right?
Yeah, we got a plus 54 going into this, so pretty bullish, and we've been bullish for a while, right? I mean, again, this has been one of our core companies that we've been pounding the table with our hedge fund clients for quite a while. But yeah, going into this trade, we're plus 54, looking for ways to minimize downside risk, take a safe bet, if you will, have some controlled risk and make some money if they do pop. And of course, we'll be listening to see what they talk about with tariffs, but we're expecting good numbers.
All right, setting me up for a home run here on our example trade. Great stuff as always, Landon. Have a good day. Thanks. That's Landon Swan, co-founder of LikeFolio, breaking down the data here on Shopify. They're pretty bullish on